well. What it gave me, or what this experience allowed me to see or to recognize was, okay, are we done yet? Like, still putting your power somewhere outside of yourself? Are you finally, are you willing to accept the fact that it is you? It is your I am, and it is your it is. It is nowhere else. It is your being. To even recognize being as, if you want to say a thing. Hello, beautiful beings, to another episode. And this one is not only celebrating that I'm back on track, back in a healthy body, but we are celebrating something that is also sparked this episode, and I know it's going to take us somewhere really powerful, which is my final approval of my green card. And if you've been following me for a little bit, then you know that I've already been talking about the green card. I've talked about the story of how it came about. And I also already shared that I already have been approved for a green card. And this, I got the email from my lawyer on Saturday that it's now on its way. The physical card is now on its way to me. And this moment, as beautiful, and there were tears of joy, and I loved it. And at the same time, the reaction of my friends actually kind of really revealed it, or showed in a way of how it felt to me as well. Was like, they were like, ah, yeah, right, okay. Like, there was no, oh my God, oh my, oh yay, oh wow. Like, there was nothing about this. It was more like hell yeah, right, of course. There was just this big of course. It was never a question. And this is kind of exactly, or why I still love to, or this moment revealed being to me in such a powerful way, was because it didn't start with a question. It started with me recognizing what already is. Taking you back to the moment when I was in LA and I knew I wanted to take Being Studios to the next level, or being like, I'm just focusing on that. This is my business. I'm gonna work as the owner of Being Studios, which was, per my visa and the parameters of my visa, not an option, which kind of led me very quickly to, okay, I need a green card. A green card is something that would allow me to do, and more so, which is the actual truth, be who I am. The one who's living in the US, the one who is doing what she wants to do, meaning Being Studios, the one who can do whatever she wants to do, because now the limitations of my visa would not apply anymore. And all of that being said, I talked to my lawyer. Lawyer told me, yeah, you cannot do that on US ground with your visa, so you need a green card. And I already talked about this, so I'm kind of speeding up about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast, maybe in some of the episodes from the previous season. But what really happened was, cried a little bit, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't need to take care of this. This is. And I just went about, did my things, and 3 weeks later, the lawyer appeared. The lawyer looking at my stuff, saying, "Yeah, sure, you can get a green card." I'm like, "What? Okay, wow." And the rest is history. And here we are. And this moment when I got the email from my lawyer now with the final approval, it kind of took me on this little like trip down memory lane of this entire process, but also kind of made it so visible that, like I said, the real, like the moment itself of like where you could say, now it is real in this material world. No kind of no further interviews, no whatever documents, nothing. It it didn't feel like a big thing because it has been real for the entire time. It started by me recognizing what is true already. Meaning, and this is where it gets really powerful, not even recognizing that I am the one who has a green card, or I am the one who is running her business in the US, who can do whatever she wants to do, but recognizing me as the I am, as the one who says what is. And to like this week, when like a couple of days after I got the email, I went on a walk and like I had this moment where suddenly it was like funny. There was a little part of me that had still chosen or decided that it was true, that to some degree I had to prove that I was eligible, that I was, um, yeah, had all the requirements that were needed in order to live in the US or be somebody who has the green card. And then it was just this recognition suddenly of like, that isn't true. That isn't true for me anymore. I never had to prove anything. And looking back at all these like moments, all the little interviews, or even kind of the documents or whatever I had to deliver, there was no moment where I needed to prove anything. The entire process, and as you know, we're doing the big quotation marks because in being there is no process, it's a recognition, and a recognition always happens in this very moment. In this entire what appears as a process, there were just moments where I got to recognize over and over and over again who I am. And again, I'm not meaning specifically that I am the one who has a green card, or that I am the one who can do whatever she wants to do, or that I am the one who's living in the US, but that I am the I am. That I am the recognizing power, that I am the one who decides who I am and what is. This is what creates. This is, and even creates like sounds like there was something that wasn't there and needs to be formed. It's what allows what already is to reveal itself to me. I already was the one who had the green card, and I felt that. And I don't mean this in a like kind of physical body sensation kind of way. I mean it as I noticed this is what I want. I want to be the one who lives in the US. I want to be the one who does or like runs her own business and is completely free to do also whatever the heck I want to do. And in my reality, a green card was something that was required for that. And so I just recognized that, okay, so then a green card is what you want. So you are the one who has it. There was no question about it. And this is exactly how it felt, and also how I've been talking about it before. Because even if like there were, if you want to say so, in the like material world, like the final yes, like this what is happening now, this I can hold it in my hands and be like, yeah, like the moment that for some is the defining moment of something that is real. For me, this wasn't this moment. The moment it was real was the moment that I said, it is. I am. And this is what like is so powerful, and what I noticed like this week, or what revealed itself to me as like this, man, anything that I want, anything that you want, anything that we want is not about like getting that thing, and about the like recognition that I am the one who can have that or be that. It is about the actual recognition of who I am. That I am the I am, that you are your I am. I am the being. The recognition that I am the only one in my reality, just as you are in yours, who decides what is and what isn't, who says, or who has the power to say who I am and who I am not. Nothing and no one, and I have been saying that before and I will never get tired of it, nothing and no one can tell me who I am and can define and can say who I am other than me. Nobody can say what is and what isn't other than me. It's a recognition of me as the being. It's a recognition of me as the one who says what is real, what is true. And yesterday I had this moment where I was really like, I wish sometimes like that the English language, and here I go, and wouldn't have thought that I would ever be saying this, but that the English language would have what the German does for like perception in German, Wahrnehmung, like the literal translation of like taking something as true. That everything is just about me as the one who perceives, and that is where the decision happens, like, is it true or is it not true? Nothing else is creating. This is all another German like gem being Annahme, that assumption. The German translation for it, Annahme, like kind of literally means to take something in, or like to take it, and that anything here is based on me and what I take on as true, what like I'm assuming is. And this process with the green card, or this experience with the green card, is one where it showed so like, yeah, it just like was in my face that my assumption was never that I needed to do anything to get a green card. Not a thing. And we're talking about doing something in order to, trying to basically prove that this reality exists by kind of disproving the other one. And this is where it happens. Like, I wrote a post about it today, that you can do all the doing in the world if your assumption is still that this is how it is, then no amount of doing will change anything. It may appear to you as if because maybe you're like doing a lot in order to, and then one day things change, but the actual like cause of the change wasn't all the doing. It was because now you, for yourself, decided you had enough evidence to recognize it as true, to recognize a new truth, to let go, if you want to say so, of your assumption, of your this is how it is, and allow something else to be. It is not happening over time. It is happening in the moment. It is happening through recognition. And the recognition, not even of, like I said with the green card, not even of me as the one who has the green card. In that case, that was just the kind of um the I don't know, like the little kind of game that we were playing, and like for this little something to appear, it's about the recognition of who I am and why that. And it always brought me back to being, no matter what kind of like dimension of my life, whatever topic, because every time I was presented with like, this is what you have to do in order to, for your business to grow, for you to get a green card, for you to be living there, for this to be whatever it is. Anytime that somebody told me like a how, I found myself at some point inevitably with a like, this is not, no, this is no, this is not how I want it to be. And that obviously brings the question, okay, how do you want it to be? And that means, okay, so I am the one who gets to decide how it is. Because everybody else, any person, book, whatever, like that is presenting you with an idea, like this is the how, is just presenting you with one of the infinite options of what is. This is like, it's kind of like an invitation, like a suggestion. This is how it is. And it is up to me to decide, is this how I want it to be? Not because it is like, here it is, black and white, like it's written there, or this expert tells me that, or this person with all this experience is like, everybody's just telling you essentially how they see themselves, how they see the world, me included. None of what I'm saying is like take it or leave it. I don't care. I love the way how I see the world. Do you love the way that you see your world, how the world works for you, how things are? And for me, every time that's something that I've kind of like pushed against or came up against a certain limitation, I was like, and the was because I felt like this is not true. This is not true because recognizing myself as the being, there is no limit to that. There is no something can't be. How? It already is. Everything is happening here inside my being. The formless, shapeless, like without my being, like I couldn't even experience myself here in this body. Like it needs me to be the me. And it is that like recognition of like, who are you? I am not Kira. Like I have a name. My name is Kira. I have this body, but the me, like if my name was now, I don't know, Susan, I'd still be me, wouldn't I? even before I had a name, like before I even knew that what my name was, I already existed. So this recognition of who I am, who I truly am, not an identification, because identities are like tempting and can be fun, even, I would say. However, they are temporary and always, like I said, at some point left me with this like rubbing against a limit, rubbing against a this is not who you are, or this can't be, or you're not allowed to be that, or that doesn't work for you, or whatnot. Some sort of limitation. And it didn't sit with me because obviously, for me as the being, it's like, that's not true. And then it brings me back to the question, okay, what do I want? How do I want it to be? Because everybody you experience here in your reality and me in mine is just telling me what they assume is true, what they have accepted as this is what is true. That's it. It's that simple. Knowing, recognizing, okay, so it's just me as the one who recognizes what is true and what isn't for me. It doesn't need to be true for anyone else but me. Because if you recognize yourself as the truth, why would it even need somebody else to recognize it and say, yeah, this is true for me too? There is nothing outside of me that can validate, that can tell me what is true. And even in this example with the green card, it was me accepting I need a green card in order to live in the US. I need a green card in order to do what I want to do and be wherever I want to be. And funny enough, like this process, this experience just allowed me to recognize that I'm the being. Whatever I say is true is true. I am doing whatever I want to do anyways. Even the things that I'm telling myself are like, but this is what I have to do. No, it is what I accepted as this is what I have to do, which makes it still me wanting this to be true. This can be uncomfortable to recognize. However, for me, it was like, this is where the freedom is. This is where I suddenly get to like really choose and see like, oh, okay, if this is all just about what I want to be true anyways, the being experiencing itself through me, having fun experiencing this human experience as me, then what are the things that I want to experience? What are the things that I'm drawn to? What are the things that bring me joy or excite me or I'm curious about? Then that's the question. Then all the things that used to be kind of like, let's take the green card example. It's like, okay, I like that moment could have been, oh, okay, I need a green card. And then, okay, what do I have to do? What do I like have to figure out and like doing. I could have kept myself busy with that as I need to do something now for this to be. It's one way to spend my time to experience myself. But coming back to what I said earlier, this would have been like keeping myself busy because I'm trying to, what's the English word for that? I kind of lost like disprove a truth that I'm still accepting, namely, I don't have a green card. Because only as me, as the one who decided I don't have a green card, I need to figure out how to get one. That there's no, like, the one who has it doesn't need to do anything. The one who, and coming back to, recognizes herself as the one who says what is true and what isn't. It's my I am. It is it is. And the question that like can be really confronting in the most beautiful way is, when are you allowed to say that you are something or that something is? Because this dependence on some circumstance and some parameters that the material world is supposed to reflect back to me so that I can finally say that I am that, or this is having it backwards. I am waiting for something that is supposedly, that I place the power, my power into, to tell me who I am. And I've been there, I've done that. No amount of money, no matter how much it was, eventually allowed me to tell, or like to call myself and to say, I'm rich. It was never enough. No amount of, I don't know, recognition from other people would have allowed me to see myself as enough. And by the way, even the concept of being enough, like, what is that? Who is recognizing that there was something as not enough in the first place? How? How can something not be enough? It needs somebody to recognize that there is such thing as not enough. No matter where you go, no matter where you're trying to put it, to hide it, it is you. Always you. You are the one who says, okay, it is in there. The power of the recognition, the power of something that is having the power to, for me, to finally allow myself to say, I am that. I'm rich, I'm beautiful, I'm successful, I'm whatever, loved, even you're enough. Like, it's you. It is never outside of you. If you placed it somewhere, it's still you, because it needs you to put it there, to say, like, this is what is. This has the power to tell me. This is what it is. It is you, and always you. And I love that the green card in itself was like this, because it really started with me, like, I cannot be here who I want to be. Like, I want to be in the US and I want to do that. And I want to be who I am here to be in this world, who I came here to be in this world. And I'm not allowed. And then, well, what it gave me, or what this experience allowed me to see or to recognize was, okay, are we done yet? Like, still putting your power somewhere outside of yourself? Are you, like, finally, are you willing to accept the fact that it is you? It is your I am, and it is your it is. It is nowhere else. It is your being. To even recognize being as, if you want to say a thing, like that kind of the recognition that it is. The recognition that this invisible power exists, even though, and we're coming back to, how does something that is, why would that need to prove itself? And in that, like in the example with the green card, that was it. I wasn't proving myself to the US government. I wasn't proving myself and my my freedom, my power, my success, my like all the things to anyone. It was an experience of recognizing, do you finally recognize who you are? That you are the one who decides what is true, that it is not outside of you, and that you have been, by the way, already been doing whatever you want to do. You have already been who you wanted to be. And now that's just another like experience of you, of the wholeness that you are, the isness of like all like all possible ways of how I can experience myself. This is another one. You're drawn to it? Cool. Okay, it's yours. It's mine. Because I'm drawn to it. It's in my being. It already exists. It's already here. There is nothing that it needs to like further prove itself to me that it is real. It's just I recognize it as like, yep, it's true. This is what I want. And now I'm just getting out of the way. Out of the way as in out of the way by still recognizing myself as separate from it, as I'm not it. I am the one who does not have a green card. I am the one who is not successful. I am the one who is not loved or like doesn't, who is not whatever. Like this is every time, like being is how like being is. This is like this is what it is. Being is. And when you recognize that everything here in my physical reality is just a suggestion, it is just in this, in the infinity of expressions of isness, of being, this is one. But if it's not true for me, I don't even need to engage with it. I don't need to disprove it. I don't need to convince myself of something else. I can just say, okay, that's one truth, one way of, being. But it's not mine. I don't need to engage with it. In the entire process of the green card, like kind of there was moments where like in this material reality, if you say so, like I was invited to another interview or they needed some further evidence, but even though I did do these things, I didn't do them as the one who does not have a green card. It was just like, oh yeah, okay, let's fly to LA when I was in New York, and like I just had a nice trip to LA. I didn't like, this wasn't, I need to be there. Like, yeah, the interview was an experience and it was a fun one, to be honest, but it was not that there was some, ooh, I don't know, like even if my mind presented me with those options as like this could be in question, or like, oh, this, the officer looked at you in this way and whatever, or like they're requesting further evidence, I didn't engage with it as in that it is true, as like, yeah, okay, yep, but doesn't like bother me. It doesn't do anything with me. It's like I see it, but like truth is decided. That's it. I decide what is true. And I've decided that I am the one who is living in the US, who has a green card, who can do whatever the heck she wants to do, and do Being Studios, and like have, even if I didn't want to do Being Studios anymore, like if I wanted to be the cook, I don't know, this was always my example that came up, but maybe I do want to be a cook one day. But that's the freedom that I wanted. And yeah, that wasn't in question. I was just not questioning what is true already, getting out of the way and allowing it to come. No effort. Nothing of what I did was effortful. Is that a word? I don't know, but you get my point. The question about like who is supposed to allow, to give you permission to I don't know, authorize you to, now you can say this about you. Now you can say, I am that. I don't know how the sentence started, to be honest, but the I think it was about the question. The question of like, who's supposed to give you that is, it's still you. Even if you say this person can tell me I am that, is you telling, you deciding that this person now has the power to do that. It's always you. It's always you. And so, as beautiful as it is now that the green card is in my physical reality, what it was like, or what it really was about being in the recognition of something that has already been true. Because I wanted it. I wanted it. I noticed, like, oh, I do want that. I do want to live here. I do want to be able to do whatever the heck I want to do. And if that in my reality requires a green card, then yeah, I do want a green card. Okay. And then enjoy my time, enjoy my life, go about really enjoying my life and not having to, like, or not being busy with the how and the, like, I don't know, like, when you know who you are, all this, like, all the like the things, all the like, this is what I have to do now and blah blah blah, and like the house, it just is falling away because like you don't need to keep yourself busy anymore, because the only thing that I am busy with is recognizing who I am, deciding, and not letting anything else tell me anything else, like not letting anything that appears in my physical reality, in my material reality, like in this dimension, like convince me. Convince is even such a funny word, like have the power to tell me who I am and who I'm not, and what is and what isn't. It doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is what I say. Because even if, and this is where it gets like very obvious, like even if, and I experienced that, even though I had all that money, I didn't, like, that my I am was not I'm rich, just wasn't. There was always like a more would allow me to say that. And it's not about the same, because obviously it's about how is life for somebody who is that. How is life for somebody who is and has like lives or experiences their, I don't know, I'm always, I'm loved, where this is not a question. How is life? And this is what people want. This is what you want. This is what I wanted. It's about the state. It's about something that is not like, doesn't come and go, and like something you can like tap into, and then whoopsie, circumstances changed and now I'm, oh shit, all in question again. I don't know who I am. Ooh, I don't know if it is. Like that feeling of like that at any given point it could all go to like shit, that it all could be like I could suddenly not be. I didn't want that. And this, like, for me was also about like, I knew that, man, like all the doing, like this doesn't feel true. Just doesn't feel true to me. That's not how I wanted it to be. And to then like, okay, great, Kira. If this is not how you want it to be, how do you want it to be? This is where it gets interesting, because I've kept myself busy as well with all the things like that's not how I want it to be, and like that, and or like even like being busy about like kind of opposing what I saw in this like physical world, what others do and how others say things are, and like, yeah, okay, it's great. That's how it is for them, but how do you want it to be? You and only you. You don't need to in any way engage with how somebody else wants it to be for them, because that's what they want to experience. And like I said, even if they don't recognize that, that's how it is. It is how you want it to be. So cool, that's how they want it to be, but how do I want it to be? I don't need to obsess or be like in any way engage with that. I can just see, yeah, okay, that's how they see themselves as. That's how they see the world. That's not how I see it. Because the being experiencing itself through me, how does it want to experience itself through me? What do I want? What do I feel drawn to? What is like what is there? Like literally just like this, what is there for me? Like in this moment, because we're talking moment to moment to moment. Not what is there for me in 4 years. Like I have no idea. I don't even have an idea what is there for me in like, yeah, 5 minutes. Saying that with the obviously caveat, we know there is no time, but like this, I can just be present with what is here for me now and then act on that. Enjoy that. Follow that impulse. Not negotiating with it or just recognizing it is true already. No questions asked, because why even? Like, I mean, if you want to ask yourself the questions, go. Like, nobody is stopping you. And this is the fun part. Like, we all are doing what we want to do all the time in every single moment. And so knowing that, recognizing that, it's like, okay, so but what do I really want to do? What do I want to experience right now? This is where it gets interesting. This is where life becomes where becoming where where I recognize that life is here just for me to be experienced and enjoyed, have fun with it. To experience life through me, through my eyes, through your eyes. How do you want it to be? What do you want to be true? That is the question. And I feel this episode is complete. I, really enjoyed that. And I see you in the next episode and inside Being Studios. Mwah. So much love your way.